Cause y'all know what it is.
TNN Trap Music Network.
I was with Big Trapper.
I flex with you.
Warning, this video is for satire, educational, and comedy use only. It is not intended to be actual fact, nor is it intended to give real meaning to any of the questions you ponder about late night.
Swear.
Came out of
Let's get into this. Did you know that Michael Jackson beat up Tupac? Crazy. Untold story. And
Michael Jackson was our biggest hero.
because I bet you didn't know that Michael Jackson whooped out Tupac. I bet you didn't know that.
The kid, I'm just going to talk about Mike for 1 second.
Okay.
The kid.
At 9 o'clock, I need y'all to get into bed. At 9:30, I need y'all to be asleep because y'all have fight training in the morning. Not talking sleep. Because, Kaden, how many times do you get in trouble for talking and not going to sleep? Okay, so your grandma's sick of that. So let's get into the habit of just not doing it now. Let's stop doing it at home because when I tell y'all to go to sleep, do y'all still be in there whispering? Is that not following instructions? Is that disobeying what I'm asking you to do? Okay, so I'm not the best at making sure y'all do it, which is my accountability, but y'all gonna start getting in trouble for it because the fact is, if I tell you to do something, you should do it. Okay, so y'all a little maybe too comfortable just disobeying when I tell you to do that? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just chill, all right?
Kid that first said that Mike did something to him. He said he took a shower with him. Here it is years later, Mike done died. He says, my parents put me up to it. The feds coerced me. So did Michael do it? No. This is the people saying you got way too much power. Now let's look at this. Who owned Sony? Tommy Mottola. Until Michael Jackson bought up their catalogs.
But the whole Beatles catalog.
Not just the Beatles. Not just the Beatles. Jay-Z, Eminem, all of them cats. Michael Jackson make money off of every record they put out. Shut them all down. This is common knowledge. Google it.
Mike was definitely a rep.
Did you hear the story about how Mike got the Beatles, George?
I believe I heard an interview of some, it was Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin said Mike walked in and
They was filming Say, Say, Say.
Right. And he asked, well, I'll buy the Beatles for
No, he asked, how much do you think that's
how
worth?
much?
Now, this is a gangster move, how he acquired the Beatles. Nothing to do with how he ended up fighting Tupac, but they're going to get to that. But this is a pretty gangster story.
Exactly. Okay.
$60 million, Mike. Mike was like, that's a lot of money. Fronting, like, you know. He said in between takes, he went and called his people, go buy it. That's all, 60 million. Take 60 million out of my account. Go buy that shit. Came back the next day. You ready to finish filming? Oh, by the way, I bought the Beatles. You what? You bought a fucking beat? You can't own the Beatles. He had a fucking fit. Paul McCartney. Stop being his friend.
Absolutely.
Hurt his fucking feelings. Mike was a shrewd businessman.
He was a gangster.
What's the deal, chat? What's the deal, chat? Nas clutched 7,009. I see you.
Gangster move.
Let me tell you another story I heard. You know, Mike and Quincy was tight.
Right.
So for years, you got to remember, they made Off the Wall together, and that was in the 70s. You see what I'm saying? And it took them years to make. And that came out in 79. So if it took them years to make, we talk about 78, 77, maybe 76, they started on this project. So that means Michael Jackson grew up. I mean, watch Quincy Jones' daughters grow up. Fast forward years later, Tupac is dating one of the daughters. I think it was Khadijah.
Yup, over the goddaughter. Over the goddaughter.
Khadijah, yep.
Khadijah. They came out of, Tupac comes out the party, disrespecting Khadijah, like, bitch, shut up. Come the fuck on. Shut the fuck up and get in the car. Mike stepped to him. Yo, you can't talk to her like that. He was like, Mike, mind your fucking business. Mike was like, fuck no, that's like my niece. You ain't gonna just talk to her like that. Michael Jackson and fucking Tupac start rumbling. Michael Jackson beat his ass. They said,
Now, I'm not shocked that Michael Jackson, being from Gary, Indiana, the youngest of a gang of sons, whooped out Tupac, who comes from an activist mother, Black Panther, artistic background. Michael Jackson from the hood, bro. Like, I don't know if y'all know, but like Michael Jackson from the hood, like Gary, Indiana, that ain't that. He from the Trenchianas. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Giving Life? So when Tupac is stepping to Michael Jackson, you feel me? Michael Jackson got 5 brothers. Tupac, I don't think that you really want a problem with Mike, bro. I think that Mike might be more equipped for the situation than what you think, brother.
Tupac loved to fight, but he can't fight.
Just because Tupac, give it to me, Dylan. Just because Tupac loved to fight doesn't mean that he was good at it. You feel me? Like, man. So I love you. Brush your teeth, wash your face. Love you. Hey, listen, you're gonna get in trouble. You have to listen.
Yes.
Don't get yourself in trouble.
Yes.
I don't want to see you get in trouble over that, but it's gonna become a thing.
Yes.
Because you have to take that habit to your grandma's house, and y'all are on her nerves. So where do habits start? Over there, over here?
Over here.
Okay. I love you, Pop.
Love you.
Hey, take it serious, fool. Okay. I love you. Maj, Jason, I see you in here, fool. We talking about how Michael Jackson beat up Tupac. Let's run it back.
You can't talk to her like that.
No, it wasn't over, Madonna. They just told you what it was over. Like, listen, they finna tell you, fly boy. They just said what it was over. It's not over, Madonna.
79. So if it took them years to make, we talk about 78, 77, maybe 76. They started on this project. So that means Michael Jackson grew up. I mean, watch Quincy Jones' daughters grow up. Fast forward years later, Tupac is dating one of the daughters. I think it was Khadijah. They came out of Tupac comes out the party disrespecting Khadijah, like, bitch, shut up, come the fuck on, shut the fuck up and get in the car. Mike stepped to him, yo, you can't talk to her like that. He was like, Mike, mind your fucking business. Mike was like, fuck no, that's like my niece. You ain't gonna just talk to her like that. Michael Jackson and fucking Tupac start rumbling. Michael Jackson beat his ass. They said Tupac loved to fight, but he can't fight.
Tupac and Michael.
Tupac and
My bad, fly boy. He just popped in.
Michael Jackson.
Now listen. That's new.
You walk outside the club, you see Tupac and Michael Jackson thumping. Like when I say thumping, I mean they like pop, 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 big, pop, pop, pop. And Michael Jackson, pop, pop, big, pop, pow, whooping out Tupac. What do you do next? What do you do next? You come outside, you see Michael Jackson whooping Tupac to the ground. What? Go. What do you do? Hey, and let me ask this question. Go. You think that when Michael Jackson got to heaven, he was like, Jesus, where's Pac? I need my round 2. Oh, you think Michael Jackson got to heaven and was like, St. Peter's, where's Tupac? I need my round 2. And that nigga was like, bad line.
Who's the mix?
You gotta remember.
Pac, Mike here, you got face.
Remember, number one, Mike came up in the house with how many brothers?
Oh, yeah.
Do you got brothers?
No.
You ain't got brothers. You got brothers? Okay, so I have 4 brothers. That's how I learned how to fight. They punch you in the mouth over a fucking chicken wing.
Yeah.
And your anger ain't gonna let you let that slide, whether you can beat them or not.
You gonna fight.
And you gotta learn how to fight. My brother Jamak, when he was 13, he was about 240, 6'2". Took me out in the street, put on boxing gloves in front of all his homies, beat my ass every day until I could fucking fight. And one day I caught him with a couple of lucky ones. I can say now it was lucky ones because my brother Matt can fight. And he was like, okay, all right, you ready? So the word in the neighborhood is this kid is the golden child. You know what I'm saying? So one day I bumped into this dude at the Chinese store and knocked this food out his hand. And he went to grip me up. And the boy next to him like, yo, you don't want to do that. He's like, why not? This motherfucker knocked me. You don't want to deal with his brothers. He the soft one. Soft? Who the fuck is you? Soft?
You gotta prove that you're hard.
Oh, fuck no, soft.
That's really how it goes. So I don't know why y'all thought anything would be different from Mike Jackson from Gary, Indiana. Mike Jackson is from the hood, man. Billie Jean is not my lover. He's a fader. Michael Jackson's a fader, bro. He ain't playing. You know Michael Jackson beat up Tupac? Crazy. You come outside the club, you see Michael Jackson whooping out Tupac. Tupac, what do you do next? And then even deeper than this, you moonwalk up out of here. But then look, I said when Michael Jackson got to heaven, you think he's like, hey, St. Peter's, where's Pac? I need my round two.
Off. Oh, hell.
Am I the only one that didn't know Michael Jackson whooped out Tupac? Wow. Where do you think you know a person?
Hell no. I can't have that reputation on me. And I'm a rapper out here in these streets. So in other words, without my brother, I ain't shit, right? That's what you're trying to say? So I went home. I rolled me a joint, fat ass joint. It was a spliff, big old fat joint. Bought me a 40, drank that 40, smoked that spliff, and was walking through Winfield looking for the first motherfucker say anything.
That nigga said, nah, you just beat it. Hilarious. Hilarious.
Because I'm going to get this rep tonight. Ran up on this dude named Keith Hightower. Keith Hightower. And he was talking shit about my sister's girlfriend. Everybody thought she was our cousin because she was around so much. I'm like, fuck you say about my cousin? Pussy, I'll beat your ass. Unbeknownst to me, that Keith Hightower in the neighborhood is the knockout artist. Don't know.
Now, we're going to move around this story because he's talking more about Keith Hightower than he is about Michael Jackson and Tupac. And we actually want to keep it about Michael Jackson and Tupac. So I'm going to go ahead and slide down because I made notes. Boom, let's go into this.
I own Sony's publishing. Every time Beyonce and Jay-Z make a song, Michael was getting a check.
That the hard way. To the surprise of many fans, it seems Michael may have taught Tupac a tough lesson about not judging a book by its cover. Let's dive in.
So Michael Jackson whooped Tupac's.
Tupac was walking out of the venue with his then girlfriend, Kidada Jones. Now, if you don't know,
Khadijah, not Kidada. Khadijah, not Kidada.
Kidada is the daughter of legendary music producer Quincy Jones, who just so happens to be super tight with Michael Jackson. So in a way, Kidada was like family to Michael, basically like a niece to him. As the story goes, Tupac was allegedly cussing Kidada out as they were leaving the tent.
The AI is crazy calling our girl Kidada when her name is Khadijah.
And everybody knows Pac had a fiery temper and didn't always hold back his words, especially when emotions were running high. Now, Michael supposedly witnessed this little outburst and felt a type of way about it, so he steps in, telling Tupac not to talk to Kidada like that. But of course, Pac being Pac, he wasn't the type of guy to back down or take orders from anyone, not even Michael Jackson.
Tupac comes out the party.
Tupac taking orders from Michael Jackson as well.
Disrespecting Khadijah, like, shut up, come on, shut the up and get in the car. Mike stepped to him. Yo, you can't talk to her like that. Mike, mind your business. Mike was like, no, that's like my niece. You ain't gonna just talk to her like that.
Allegedly, things got heated, words were exchanged, and a scuffle broke out. And according to the rumor, Michael came out on top. Some say Michael Jackson actually put hands on Tupac and won the fight.
Michael Jackson beat his. They said Tupac loved to fight, but he can't fight.
Now that's the part of the story that makes people pause and go,
Tupac loves to fight, but he can't fight. Yeah, I'm not gonna front. We've heard many a story about how Tupac wasn't the best. Squabbly wobbly, drop it like it's hot. You feel me?
wait, what? I mean, Michael Jackson, the king of pop, moonwalking into a fistfight and beating up one of hip-hop's most feared icons? It sounds crazy, almost too wild to believe, but to some folks, the story kind of makes sense when you dig deeper. See, Michael didn't grow up soft. He was raised in a rough household with a bunch of brothers.
And then you got to remember too, her name is Khadijah. The AI is pronouncing it Kidada. But you got to remember too, Michael Jackson had all brothers and had what some would say was a more aggressive father. So it does make sense for Michael Jackson to whip out Tupac because again, Tupac was raised by his mama and, you know, more of like a single mom household and all that kind of stuff. Whereas Michael Jackson, all brother, or you know, a house full of brothers, and raised by a daddy that's, you know, they say is a little bit aggressive. You know, just you know about Joe Jackson. You know about Joe Jackson. You feel me? You don't know about Joe Jackson. Don't worry about Joe Jackson.
And a strict no-nonsense father, Joe Jackson, who, by many accounts, was abusive and even had a background in boxing. There are stories that Michael was the only one who dared to stand up to their dad, so while his public image was all soft-spoken and gentle, there might have been a tougher side to him that the world never really saw. On the flip side, while Pac had that thug persona and loved to throw hands, there's been talk from people who knew him that he actually wasn't that great at fighting. He had the heart, but maybe not the hands. Still, there are industry insiders who flat out deny this entire incident ever happened. They say there's no way Michael and Pac ever physically fought.
Some guy is telling the story, some guy I've never heard of, was that Michael Jackson beat up Tupac.
That's what I'm saying. That's a lie.
Right. And I'm like, and they're like, it could have happened. It could have happened.
For one, Michael was insanely famous at that point, and he didn't move around alone. He rolled deep with security that treated him like he was the president of the United States. Nobody was getting close enough to throw a punch, and Tupac was also at the height of his fame, constantly surrounded by his own crew. So even
Nah. I think Mike whooped out Pac, bro.
if there was
I think Mike might have whooped out Pac, bro, because that actually makes sense. I'm not gonna front. Michael Jackson whooping out Tupac does make sense, bro. I'm not gonna front. It does. That is
tension, an actual one-on-one fight breaking out between the two just doesn't add up for some people.
First of all, how big Pac was and how big Michael Jackson was. Michael Jackson had security. He used to run around with security like the president.
J. Cole and Diddy got into a fight. So if J. Cole and Diddy can get into a fight, you mean to say that Tupac and Michael Jackson can't get into a fight? Like that? Nah. I'm not hearing it. If J. Cole and Diddy can get into a fight and J. Cole can swing off on Diddy, why that can't? Nah. I think Mike whooped out Pac, bro. I ain't gonna front. I think Michael Jackson whooped out Pac. I think that happened. I ain't gonna lie. Now, chat, let me know what y'all think. But I think that Michael Jackson got the better of that situation. J. Cole ended up throwing the hands. It was Drake and Diddy. Well, Diddy did put hands on Drake, but J. Cole got up on Diddy.
Really think the series.
And then T.I. Homie used Drake as the restroom. That actually happened. That was a real thing where Drake got used as a toilet.
You gonna let him and Pac have a fair fight? Like, it doesn't even make sense.
But here's where things get interesting, because even if the fight rumor is bogus, there was some real tension between Michael and Tupac, and it had to do with music. According to Napoleon from the Outlaws, Tupac was actually really hyped about the idea of working with Michael Jackson. He got the call and was ready to jump on a track, but when Pac showed up at the studio, Michael wasn't there. Instead, Tupac was told to just lay down his verse solo, and that right there didn't sit right with him. Pac took it as a sign of disrespect and immediately walked out. He felt like if Michael really wanted to work with him, he should have shown up in person.
Michael Jackson wanted to do a song with Pac, and this is what Pac said. And he went to the studio, he was excited because he wanted to do that song and meet Michael Jackson. When he got to the studio, Michael Jackson wasn't in.
Right, You Rock My World video, he threw a cold little
Pac said, I walked out. Pac wanted to be more personal. Before I do a song with you, let's meet. Tell me what type of maybe lyrics you want me to say, but so I guess he was like, man, he wasn't feeling it.
After that, things supposedly turned sour. The story goes that Michael was upset Pac walked out and, in response, chose to work with Biggie instead, who, at the time, was Pac's biggest rival. Quincy Jones' son, QD3, would later back that up by saying Tupac's team tried to get Michael on the song Thug Nature, but Jackson declined out of loyalty to Biggie. However, that version of events got challenged too. Danny Boy, a former death row artist, claimed the story was false. He said he was actually there when Michael listened to Tupac's All Eyes on Me album and that Michael liked it. He also pointed out that Suge Knight was close to the Jacksons at the time, which makes it hard to believe there was serious bad blood.
Being in a meeting with Michael Jackson and the All Eyes.
Now, I don't think that the bad blood couldn't have been there. I think that as men, Tupac was out of line and Michael Jackson had to get him in line. I think that both things can be true. I think Tupac had to get corrected and Michael Jackson corrected him.
That's on Me album being played for him. And Michael went crazy. I don't see him saying that he messed with Biggie and not with Tupac. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, Suge and the Jacksons are very close. They were at that time. So, like, that just don't sound right to me. But that Machiavelli album wasn't a Play With Me album neither. It was pretty rough content, lyrics.
So when it's all said and done, what's the truth? Did Michael and Tupac really throw hands? Did Michael pick Biggie over Pac out of loyalty? Or is all of this just industry myth that got twisted over time? Honestly, we may never know the full story. Michael in the streets. But despite all the rumors and supposed drama between Michael Jackson and Tupac, there's another side to Michael's life that most fans have never cared about. This side of Michael involves alleged ties to gang culture. Now, it might sound
Yeah, now y'all don't know that Mike was outside doing the thing, man. Mike was outside doing the thing, man. But see, here goes the thing, Flyboy. If we had social media back in those days, things would have been a little bit different. We never heard about any of these little Diddy accusations until they hit the internet in 2026. You feel me? People were saying whatever, making little rumors or whatever. But think about how many things, including this, never actually made it into our space and never actually made it into the airwaves because there was no social media. There was nothing like that to kind of broadcast these things. And now that social media is available, you got these dudes coming back and telling these stories. And it's just like, man, you ninjas was living crazy. And if you wanted the best example of that, if you guys are ever bored, go look at the dark side of WWF. Those documentaries, the dark side of WWF, man, your favorite WWF wrestler was living La Vida Loca. But it was no social media or nothing like that at the time. So nobody knew but the people living.
Completely out of left field to even mention Michael's name in the same sentence as gangs, but over the years, there have been a few interesting moments in his career that suggest he may have had some real interactions and even connections with street gangs. In particular, there's been a lot of talk about Michael's link to the Crips, one of the most notorious gangs in America, and it all seems to go back to a very specific moment in his early solo career. Let's rewind to the early 80s during the making of the music video for Beat It. By this point, Michael had already proven he was a superstar, and he wanted the video to send a strong message, especially about ending violence. But he didn't want it to come off as fake or corny, so instead of hiring a bunch of actors to play gang members, Michael had a bold idea. He decided to bring in the real deal. He reached out and cast actual gang members from the streets of LA, specifically real-life Crips and Bloods, along with 80 more street-affiliated individuals, including members from the Barrio Nuevo Estrada gang. He wanted the video to be raw, real, and impactful. To make this happen, Michael connected with the LAPD's gang task force, who helped him get in touch with the East Coast Crips. That moment right there was the first real connection between Michael and the 716 East Coast Crips, who were the only Crip set involved in the Beat It shoot. Michael had a bus sent to Florence and Hooper, deep in the heart of South Central LA, just to bring them downtown to the video shoot in Skid Row. Now you can probably imagine the tension. You've got Crips and Bloods on the same set. At first, there were a few scuffles and confrontations, it's almost expected, but Michael being Michael with that calm, almost otherworldly energy, man.
Stop fighting at my video shoot before I whoop you the same way I whooped Tupac. Don't play with me. Think it's a game? You'll be out of here. And then he moonwalks off.
Managed to bring peace to the set. By the time the shoot wrapped up, these rival gang members were coexisting and even vibing together. And it wasn't just business. Michael made sure they were treated well. Everyone was paid, fed, and in between takes, they hung out near his trailer. Michael even gave them autographed pictures and Victory Tour tickets as gifts. Fast forward a few years to 1987, and Michael was bigger than ever. He dropped his iconic Bad album, and with it came another massive hit, The Way You Make Me Feel, and the video was also shot in Skid Row. But this time, Michael tapped into another Crip set, the 890 East Coast Crips. There's even—
Let me find out that Michael Jackson was cool with the East Coast Crips, bro. Let me find out that that's East Coast Jack.
been this iconic behind-the-scenes photo from that shoot. In it, you can see a gang member named Boxer from 890 ECC standing right beside Michael, both of them throwing up the East Coast Crip hand sign.
And he was throwing up neighborhood Crip, but it's cool.
They used real gang members in the video. We had the E13s down here on this corner and the Crips on this corner. And some of the guys were smoking. And Michael came to me and says, Joe.
But Michael didn't stop there. He kept the authenticity going by involving other local gangs for the shoot's background and set decoration. He let them paint graffiti art on the set, repping their hoods. Among the crews involved were Fides Broadway Gangster Crips, 107 Hoovers, Zenith 13, 18th Street, and of course, the East Coast Crips. It turned the video into a colorful mix of real street culture, and Michael looked completely at home in the middle of it all. Word started getting around in the streets that Michael might actually be affiliated. Some even said the Crips had his back, and you know how word spreads in the industry.
The East Coast Crips definitely had it. If all this is true, the East Coast Crips for sure had Michael Jackson's back. He was for sure good with the coast. For sure good with the coast. If all this is true, he was for sure good with the coast. For sure.
Soon, even Eazy-E from NWA was talking about it, adding to whispers that Michael Jackson, the king of pop, might have had some gang ties.
Look at Michael Jackson. He got all these gangbangers behind him, and they don't with him. Right?
Yeah. And then there's the music. Around this time, Michael recorded the now rare track, I'm So Blue, and followed it up with a song called Blue Gangsta. Whether or not that title had anything to do with his street affiliations is up for debate, but fans couldn't help but draw connections. Then in 2003, Michael made a dramatic return to his hometown of Gary, Indiana, the first time he had been back in over 20 years. The whole city lit up. It was a huge event.
Now, I would play the Michael Jackson song Blue Gangster, but we all know that that's going to hit me with a copyright strike. But Michael Jackson said, I'm affiliated. Stop playing with that.
In classic MJ style, he bought out an entire KFC and started handing out pieces of chicken to the fans who had packed the parking lot waiting to see him. People were crying, screaming, even fainting, and allegedly members of the Vice Lords and Gangster Disciples were in the crowd that day. Now, despite his well-known affiliation with the Crips, Michael also had connections with other influential figures, including drug lords. One of the wildest examples of this happened when Michael went to Brazil to shoot the music video for his politically charged track, They Don't Care About Us. The video, known for its raw energy and powerful message, was shot in one of Rio de Janeiro's most notorious favelas, Santa Marta. At the time, Santa Marta wasn't just any slum, it was under the tight grip of Marcio Amaro de Oliveira, better known on the streets as Mercinho VP, a legendary Brazilian drug lord who practically ran the area. Now, here's where it gets crazy. The Brazilian police wouldn't even enter Santa Marta because of how dangerous it was, but Michael wanted to shoot his video right in the heart of that favela. So what did his team do? They had to go straight to the source, the man who controlled the territory. Katia Lund, a Brazilian filmmaker working with Spike Lee at the time, was tasked with negotiating with Mercinho VP for Michael's safety. Despite being a feared drug boss, Mercinho VP turned out to be a huge Michael Jackson fan. He basically sent a message back saying, if you come shoot in Santa Marta, you could lay $1 million on the ground with all your camera gear and nobody will touch a thing.
Now there's another controversy for Michael. Newspapers in Rio say Jackson paid protection money to the kingpin who runs that poor neighborhood for permission to shoot the video. Spike Lee says someone was paid, he doesn't know who. And Michael Jackson, as usual, isn't saying anything.
As long as Michael Jackson is in town, this place will be the safest spot on earth. That's...
Hey, Michael Jackson was a real one. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Golly.
the kind of global power and street respect Michael carried. He didn't need an army, just his name was enough to keep a dangerous favela locked down and peaceful. Michael's gangster side. But Michael didn't just stop there. He brought that gangster-like control right into the music industry too. While he didn't walk around waving guns or throwing up sets, he played the music business game with a kind of dominance that some would argue was even more intimidating. Michael was getting money from everywhere, from Jay-Z to Beyonce, from Eminem to the Beatles. Why? Because Michael Jackson owned Sony's music publishing catalog, and that included the rights to millions of songs. So every time an artist under Sony released music, Michael got a cut. King of Pop was also the king of residuals. He owned the publishing rights to the Beatles catalog, something that even Paul McCartney wasn't too thrilled about, and that control over the industry made Michael a low-key boss in his own right. Nobody moved without Michael getting a slice.
You know what's gangster? I own Sony's publishing. Every time Beyonce and Jay-Z make a song, Michael was getting a check. I bought the Beatles.
Yeah.
While I'm doing the video with the Beatles.
I bought the Beatles while doing the video with the Beatles. Sheesh. Sheesh. Crazy.
That's gangster.
And if you ever doubted his power, just look at the situation with Eminem. Things started bubbling around November 2002 when Michael had that infamous moment where he dangled his baby, Prince, over a hotel balcony. The media went crazy and Michael caught a lot of heat. He later said he held his son tightly and didn't mean any harm, he was just trying to let fans see his baby. Fast forward to June 2003, Eminem was touring in the UK on his anger management tour. While staying at a hotel in Glasgow, Eminem decided to mock Michael by doing a parody. He walked to his hotel balcony, wearing a mask like Michael had, and held up a fake baby, pretending to toss it around. Michael didn't respond, and Eminem took that silence as a green light to go even harder. On November 19, 2003, while Michael was dealing with a massive scandal, he had just been issued an arrest warrant over extremely serious allegations, Eminem kept pushing. Michael was at one.
Now, I never really remember why Michael Jackson was when it's all said and done, I don't know why why Eminem was tripping on Michael Jackson. That didn't make sense.
One of the lowest points of his career, fighting for his freedom and reputation. But that didn't stop Eminem. Just a few months later, in September 2004, Eminem dropped Just Lose It, the lead single for his 5th album, Encore. Then in October, he released the music video, and that's when it got disrespectful. In the video, Eminem plays parodies of various celebrities, Madonna, MC Hammer, Pee Wee Herman, but when it came to Michael, he went all in. He mocked Michael's plastic surgeries, with scenes of his nose falling off, and reenacted the 1984 Pepsi commercial incident where Michael's hair caught fire. He even dressed up like Michael and danced in pajamas while mocking the allegations Michael was battling in real life. The worst part was the lyrics matched the disrespect. About a week after Eminem dropped
I'm not sure why Eminem did that. That was pretty wild.
The Just Lose It video, things finally reached a boiling point. On October 12, 2004, Michael Jackson decided to speak out. He called in live to Steve Harvey's morning show in Los Angeles, and for one of the few times in his career, Michael publicly expressed how deeply hurt and furious he was. During the interview, Michael said, "I am very angry at Eminem's depiction of me in his video. I feel that it is outrageous and disrespectful. It's one thing to spoof, but it's another to be demeaning and insensitive. I've admired Eminem as an artist, and I was shocked by this. The video was inappropriate and disrespectful to me, my children, my family, and the community at large." Steve Harvey also chimed in, saying Eminem had basically lost his hip-hop pass for that disrespect. Michael didn't stop there. He publicly called on major video platforms like BET, MTV, and VH1 to take down the Just Lose It video. Out of all of them, only BET agreed to remove it. Then a day after the interview, Michael revealed he was considering suing Eminem over the video.
Yeah, now I can see why Michael Jackson is like, nigga, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I'm waiting on you, Chico Beans. He's like, you playing with me, nigga? You know who I am? Stop playing with me.
But ultimately, that lawsuit never materialized. Instead, his fans stepped up, and they were relentless. Jackson supporters around the world started protesting the Just Lose It video, demanding it to be removed from rotation on every major platform: MTV, VH1, Music Choice, and more. On November 11th, 2004, a large group of Michael's fans gathered right outside Times Square, protesting in front of MTV's iconic show TRL, or Total Request Live. Their signs and energy was all aimed at getting Eminem's video pulled from air, but despite the loud message, nothing happened. But Michael played the long game, and that moment came on May 31st, 2007. That's when Michael, through his company Sony ATV, made a power move. He purchased Famous Music, a major...
All right, man, so that's that for Michael Jackson fighting Tupac. We're going to keep going, though, staying in rotation. Chat, y'all staying kicking. We got some more things going on. Munchie B went off on Adam 22. Waiting on my man Chico Beans to send me another video. Y'all stay rock out, man. Red dots to the left. You know the rest.
Hey, Carjack 100 here. If you need your transmission check, come on down to Carjack's. I'm your transmission expert.
I'm glad that you enjoyed that content. We heard the cries, we heard the complaints. Now, we don't got no intro, but we do got an outro. With the same information, man. Make sure that you are tapped in. Make sure you dropping comments. Make sure you dropping likes. Make sure you subscribing to everything we have going on here at TNN Trap News Network, because we will be giving away some more Chiliana once we hit that 40,000 membership, 40,000 subscriber, threshold. We're going to make sure that we give y'all some Chiliana, man. So make sure that y'all stay tapped in. Make sure y'all stay looking out. Make sure y'all stay right here at TNN Trap News Network. The news you can use, the knowledge you're not finna get in nobody's college. Hit a like, hit a comment, hit a good subscribe button for everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. We're gonna keep you updated on what's going on these YouTube streets. You already know the deal, man. If you enjoyed this content, throw the red dot to the left. You know the rest. We gone.
Hi, I'm Whack 100. When I'm not snitching on the internet, I'm snitching in real life for your own personal home security. Call 1-800-WACK-ATTACK. We're first, law enforcement second. Hey, I'm Adam 22. Got an extra soul laying around? Be like Doughboy and Whack 100 and sell yours today. One soul equals a lot of clout.
Apollo Jackson. It's dangerous. Can't come outside when it's dangerous. Work all in the floorboards. Tell the ops check the scoreboard. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. And if you shoot, you ain't miss. A nigga ball like game 6. A nigga ball like game 6.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Water like us niggas up in game 6. Mix it with the bullshit, you can save it. Water like us niggas up in game 6.
Game 60 bands on my neck when I got it on me. And I remember I was broke, I never let them hold me. Final seconds with my back against the wall. 81 point strong with this K, I call it Kobe. Running through this lettuce, nothing you can tell us. Gotta watch my back, I know that they get jealous. Real shit, I got rich, ain't gotta embellish. Real life made men, they call us good fellas. And I ain't got anxiety, I know it's intuition. May never love a bitch, but I for sure play my position. I know the streets talking, I'm cracking, so I ain't tripping. I said I play for keeps, but I guess them niggas ain't listening. Sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Nah, you can't come outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's outside, niggas.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Water like us niggas up in game 6. Mix it with the bullshit, you can save it. Water like us niggas up in game 6.
I've been winning, tell my ops check the scoreboard. Money in the attic, work all in the floorboards. Late night, that's the life that we pray for. Overtime with the pack is what we in the game for. Put myself in the game and everything is just a memory. Made a couple plays for the pain, not an enemy. Gotta watch my friends more, I gotta watch the enemies. Fake is hella fake, I know what enemies' intentions. I let it go until it click if I'm aiming. Started staying safe and ended up staying dangerous. Game on the line, see the pressure I can take. Hall of Fame shit, so if it's mine, I'ma take. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous.
You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Water like us niggas up in game 6. Mix it with the bullshit, you can save it. Water like us niggas up in game 6. You can't come outside when it's dangerous. Gotta get the blicky when it's dangerous. Young niggas, we done came from Nathan. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Thought we would stop, we just can't quit. Water like us niggas up in game 6. Mix it with the bullshit, you can save it. Water like us niggas up in game 6.
Safe like Jordan, call it game 6. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas always inside when it's dangerous. Shoot like Curry and I can't miss. Niggas sick like Jordan, call it game 6. Niggas never outside when it's dangerous. You niggas never outside when it's dangerous.